Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series Zabu Build-A-Figure Waves Cable. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And first up, we see here it's Build-A-Figure Marvel's Zabu. Assortment numbers 4 and up. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Marvel. Then on the front we've got Legends Series. So it's Marvel Legends Series. Haha. And then here we have a nice big window showcasing the figure, accessories, and Build-A-Figure piece. Marvel's cable, Hasbro print on the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side we've got some nice artwork of Cable. Doesn't quite match up to the figure though, and again same artwork here on this side. And then finally on the back side we have Marvel's Cable, Marvel Legends Series. Cable travels back through time from a dystopian future to help the X-Men as an enhanced telekinetic mutant. And then there it is again in some other languages, some number I don't know. And then a full piece of that artwork from the sides. Again, you can see like pouches and stuff. It doesn't quite match up to the figure. Then here we have the completed Build-A-Figure of Zabu, with numbers pointing to which part corresponds with which figure, and the numbers here correspond with these numbers, and you guys know how it works. So the cross sale is Superior Iron Man, which has no piece, Black Winter Thor, Wolfsbane ka-zar, Red Widow Icarus, and Marvel's Cable. Each sold separately, subject to availability. Color and decoration may vary. Attention! Especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Octoon. Don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Marvel print, fine. Legalese, and all that. Made in China print. Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, we have the Zabu Build-A-Figure piece. And nice detailing on it. I'm not going to go through all the articulation and stuff. If I complete Zabu, then we'll talk about the articulation. Next up, we have handy dandy tweezers here to take a look at the accessories. And he comes with a set of trigger finger hands for left and right, both on an up and down hinge. Nice molded details and molded in the correct color plastic here, and pretty much everything I said there applies to this piece as well. Then he also comes with two futuristic weapons, which I'm pretty sure we have seen in the line before. One of these I know came with the last Cable, I think. So nice molded details. This one looks like it's molded in the silver plastic, and then the darker colors are paint apps. So nice looking piece there. Where's the other one? Here we go. And here's the other one. again molded in this silver plastic, nice molded details, and then the blacks are the paint app. So very nice looking pieces. Now let's get to Cable and take a look at the figure himself. And I have to say the head on this looks great. You can see where the hair is a separate piece that's been glued on to the head. We've got the glowy eye piece, just like we had on the last comic book Cable. So very nice. I do really like this piece. It really takes me back to the artwork. And the face on this, for some reason, it just reminds me of Jim Lee art. And I could be wrong, you know, but that's what I think of when I look at this face sculpt. And it's got nice decoing for his stubble coming in here, the scar around his eye, the eye itself. I mean, look at that. That's pretty darn cool. So then we have his mechanical arm, which is all molded in this silvery plastic, pinless. This arm over here, which I do believe is the retro-carded Hercules arm. And you can see it's double hinge pinned. So already something I don't like about this. Overall, I do like it. But, you know, mismatched elbows even. And even the knees on this one are double hinged pinless. So one joint that's pinned. So I guess it's not a major issue. I mean, it's a non-issue, I suppose. But anyway, we've got his harness here. It's got the X-Men logo as a paint app on here. It's all molded in this yellow. And it actually runs under the ab hinge, and then these pieces right here stick up off the belt, which I think is nice because it makes it where this harness does not hinder his articulation in the torso. And then these pieces are just loose floating pieces, so you can adjust them if you need to. Now let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that high, and he's on ball and swivel. So up that high, down that low. He's got chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist. 360 degrees of rotation at the shoulder. And he can raise his arm up. We'll call that 90 degrees. Cut here at the upper bicep for a full 360 degree rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow on this side, and of course pinned on the other side like I mentioned earlier. And it gives you that much bend, and the pinned elbow gives you that much bend. So there is a slight bit of difference there, I think. So 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist on in and out hinge, and in and out hinge on this side as well. As far as the abs go, he has standard ab crunch hinge. Allows him to lean back that far, lean forward that far. 360 degrees of rotation at a straight cut across the waist. At the hips, he can give you that much of the splits. He can kick forward that far, which is a good bit less than 90 degrees, it looks like. And as far as back, about, we'll go ahead and call that a full step. 360 degree rotation at a cut at the upper thigh. Double hinged pinless knees. And it gives you that much bend, so that's really good. Then, not necessarily at the top of the boot, but here at the upper mid shin, there's another cut for 360 degree rotation. And at the ankles, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. And that, my friends, completes our look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends series Zabu Build-A-Figure Waves cable with the Marvel Legends series Sasquatch Build-A-Figure Waves cable and the Marvel Legends series Amazon exclusive X-Men Villains 5-pack Strife. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends series Zabu Build-A-Figure Waves cable, with our final Marvel Legends series comparison making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series Zabu Build-A-Figure Waves cable, I have to say, I do like this figure, even though there's some of it that's a little mismatched, I guess. We've got that one, I guess it's retro-carded Hercules arm there coming right around there that's pinned, and then all the other joints are pinless. So you guys know that bugs me a little bit, but it's not a deal killer. Now I do have to say, this is not the version of cable I think of when I think of cable. I think of that Sasquatch Build-A-Figure Wave cable. That's the version I think of because that's the one I'm the most familiar with. And not that there's anything wrong with this cable. This guy could really fit in with your X-Men 97 stuff because this is the uniform he kind of wore in there. And even though the head is a bit more realistic, I suppose, or the decos on it are supposed to be more realistic than the animated look, I think it still fits in okay. And it'll do okay until they give us the same figure but with a different head as X-Men 97 cable. But as this one stands, I like it. If they do a 97 version of this figure, I probably won't pick it up because, like I said, I feel like if you wanted to do that cable in a photo or whatever, I think this one would work adequately to where, you know, it'll fit in with either your comic collection or your animated collection. But, you know, that's just me. Your mileage, of course, may vary. You may think this one has too much of a comic booky look to fit in with the cartoon stuff, but I think it'll go either way. Now, I do like the way that they did the overlays on this figure, where the top torso straps go under the hinge, and then it's got those pieces that just kind of stick up off the belt. And even though it's at times it can look a little odd, it's not nearly as bad as that, you know, those shoulder straps being connected to the belt as one piece of overlay and hindering the articulation and just looking crazy sometimes. So I do really like that, and I hope they're going more towards that with some of these overlays, because it really looks better, and I think it works a lot better than the single pieces that they were using previously. The head sculpt on this one and the deco are A+. I don't think they really could have done a much better job on the head and the deco on it. Except maybe just a slight wash in the hair, just to touch it off a bit. But, you know, if that's something that you really want, most folks can do it themselves. I don't know if I can or not, but I've never tried. I would like to one day, though, maybe. And if I had one complaint about this figure, I'd say the weapons just seem a little small for Cable. I'm used to, you know, the big shoulder pads and the huge cannons and basically the Liefeld version of Cable. Not that I'm a big Liefeld fan, but, you know, that was the original look for the character. That's the one I'm most familiar with, so that's the one I tend to gravitate towards more, even though he's a little fantastical and ridiculous. But, you know, we're also talking about the X-Men portion of the Marvel Universe, so, or just Marvel Universe, period. You know, it tends toward the fantastic and the ridiculous sometimes, a lot of times. But overall, high marks for this figure. If you can find it for retail and you were on the fence, you better pick it up, because I almost missed out, and by this point you may have missed out. But, you know, if you're a Cable fan, if you're an X-Men fan, then, you know, this is probably one that you picked it up anyway. But those are my rambling thoughts on this figure. And that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or, you know, just help channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.